type. Hold my baby squid, keep them out of sight. Talking about my life, government stay away. If you drive, I'ma do it my own way. Squid in the ocean, swimming all alone. Ain't nobody telling me where to go. Living free, gotta stay true to myself. No need for interference from anyone else. Squid pro quo, that's the way to be. Living on my terms, setting myself free. Mama to my baby, protecting with my no government intrusion. I control my life.
Hey everybody, how is it going today? Oh my goodness. It's a crazy day. It's a crazy day. It's a crazy day. So, sorry, I'm having to go through my notes. Like I said, it's a crazy day. So, breaking news, obviously this is the medical fraud. But speaking of medical, breaking news for those of you who have been living under a rock, Scott Stark passed away. And I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at the message that I just got on my phone. Scott Stark passed away. I have strong opinions, and not everybody is going to agree with my opinion right now. Scott Stark. Did I like the man? No. Did I think that he was on the right side of the situation? No. But for those individuals for so many weeks who kept saying he's faking, he's delaying, he's faking, he's delaying, he's faking, he's this, to now placing all the blame for his death on Bubbles and the anti-what the hell's ecosystem, while acting holier than thou and not taking accountability for the fact that you made statements that said someone was faking an illness. Look in the mirror and do better. As Vices would say, do better. Because y'all for so many weeks, and not all of you, so not everybody is going to disagree with me, but like the people who kept saying he's faking, he's just trying to delay, he's just doing this, who won't take accountability and say, oh shit, I was wrong. I apologize to his family for thinking that he was faking an illness. The man died. I hope y'all can sleep at night. From someone who worked on a cardiac unit and saw people with CHF at the end of their life. I worked on a cardiac unit, 10ST for 3 years. 3 years I was on 10ST and then I floated. One side was post-catheterization and CHF, and the other side was pulmonary hypertension and Watchman devices and pacers and all that. Speaking of 10ST, here's my favorite OT in the world. I don't fake my illness, but I have to fake being well. Yes. And Jeannie, you and I really haven't talked about this this situation, but I would like to invite you on my channel to talk about, I want to do a pain chronicles. And since you are my first interaction with EDS, I would like to, you were my mentor or my supervising OT on cardiac. So, so for those of you who said that he was faking or he was just using it to delay, and here's the thing, Jeffrey, the timing seemed questionable because stress is a bitch. So when not only is somebody, and this is where I agree that it's BBB's kind of fault, when you are under a lot of stress, that's not good for CHF. Also, when you have a bunch of people on the internet talking shit about you, maybe it was warranted, maybe it wasn't. None of my business. But when you have people talking shit about your health without actually looking at your health records, and this is why we don't talk about people's health unless we have records. Unless they've given us records or someone has leaked records, we don't talk about people's health because you don't know. This from the person who was gaslit for years by friends, family, colleagues. Do you know how much I worked at a fucking hospital, and do you know how many people that I worked with, when I told them I could not feel my legs, thought I was faking it so I could call in sick or get light duty or get the easier patients? Because when you can't feel your legs, you don't get a max assist patient because you might drop them. For those of you who don't know what max assist is what it sounds like. It's 75%. Well, 0 to 25 is min. So it's 50 to 75%. I had to think about that for a second, of the assist to do anything. Stand, walk, dress themselves. They're max assist. You don't get a max to total assist patient if you can't feel your legs. So I had people who were medically trained. I had doctors telling me I was full of shit and that it was all in my head. Well, yeah, it was. And to find out that you need fucking brain surgery to fix your fake illness, and you're almost getting a shunt put in to drain the fluid that caused problems in spinal cord. That's why I shift around in this chair all the time, because my legs go numb because I have cysts in my spinal cord. So if I'm sitting a certain way for too long, I can't feel my leg. Think about how that makes you feel on a daily basis when people are telling you you're faking. So that being said, I don't talk shit about any other person's illness or health because you don't know what someone's going through. Could they be exaggerating? Possibly. But you don't know. So don't talk shit about it. But when all of a sudden I see people going from he's faking or he's exaggerating or he's this or he's just delaying to holier than now, it's this person's fault. Shut the hell up. Just shut the hell up. like just the hell up. Yeah, those same people don't apologize for what they said and did. I've never gotten an apology from the people who told me I was faking. I had a personal trainer who fired me as a client because I told him that something was too heavy for me and I dropped it because my hand went. I didn't do it. I literally threw what I was holding because my nerves freaked out. Fired me as a client. Went back to him 2 weeks later and said, by the way, you know, when I said that I wasn't faking, I need brain surgery. You know. Yeah, and this is one of those things. Like, and that's another thing. I was talking to someone today in a chat, and I like this person, and this is not ever to. I'm not going to name this person's name because they're not saying anything, but they were like, it's not in the docket any proof. Well, for one, medical stuff, and especially a lawyer's medical stuff, is not going to be in a docket. For those of you who followed me with Captain Kern and looking through the docket of his daughter's case, the defendant in that case went to the hospital many times. You never saw anything in there about what his medical issues were, except for the fact that he went to hospital. That's all you saw. You never saw anything. People don't apologize because they're afraid to admit they're wrong. And guess what? People are wrong every day. And part of being an adult and part of being a healthy adult and growing as a human is to admit when you're wrong. Part of being an adult is just never to say you're 100% right to begin with, because then you won't have to worry about admitting that you're wrong because you will never be, you know what I mean? If you never go, I'm always right, then, you know, but there's my little soapbox for the day. Like, and this is why I criticize people on both sides. This is where I criticize the people on both sides. I was in a meeting where the nurses were being very disrespectful to a patient behind their back because she had fibromyalgia. I'd just been diagnosed with that the week before and not professional. Yeah, Jeannie, so you know this, but I really want to talk to the expert. And if anybody, like, I really want to swap stories with the expert because Jeannie, I was on surgical ICU sitting outside of a certain person who I was related to's room, listening to them give report about a certain person that I was, I don't know, her activated power of attorney. As I'm sitting there I was treating the person 3 rooms down. So I figured instead of typing outside that person's room, I would just go to my grandmother's room and type outside her room so that when I was done typing, I could go and say hi to her before I clocked out. Well, I was listening to nursing give report. It was not the most professional, and I just happened to be friends with the nurse manager on that unit. There's a reason why when my grandmother was in the hospital, my dad would warn nursing staffs about me, because I know how shit's supposed to work. And when shit doesn't go as advertised, I would not be afraid to put my foot up people's asses, including doctors. There was a certain nephrologist who wouldn't look me in the eyes for 3 years. 2017 to when I quit in 2020. And every time I walked by him in the hallway, I would be sure to say hi to him. And he would not make eye contact with me because I told him where to stick it one day in front of the nurse, the CNA, respiratory therapy, and I think there was somebody else in there too. But to hop on my soapbox. I hear you about being on the receiving end of people think you want an easier shift, not believing you, hidden, I worked with Max Assisted long-term care. Yeah, and it's just so shitty. It's like I loved working with the difficult patients because part of being and my love of psychology was how can I get these patients that nobody else that won't work with anybody else, that will be rude to other people, how do I get them to work with me? That was my favorite thing. Jeannie can tell you, I would get the patients that everybody else would think were the biggest assholes, that were rude, were mean, would say no to therapy all the time, and I would look at the notes and dissect, how am I going to get this person to work with me? What are we going to do today to get this person to work with me? That was my favorite thing in the world, was to try to figure out how to make the difficult patients, so-called difficult patients, work with me. It was what made my job entertaining, and kept things interesting, because cardiac units can get kind of monotonous as everybody's tired. But I loved the psychologically difficult patients. So I never wanted to work with the super light, easy, oh, this person's just tired, let's go for a walk. That was boring. I needed to work with the person who wanted to be a dick to everybody else and tell everybody else to go fuck themselves, and that they didn't want to work with therapy and would kick everybody else out. So when you get constant refusals and you see patient refused OT, patient refused PT, patient refused, I wanted to be the person who actually got to write the note on this patient. That was my whole goal in life. I loved it. Loved it. So, all I know is if Stark, the information is true and both sides will be blaming the other side by the end of the day. Oh, they're already playing the blame game. They're already playing the blame game. They're so well for so many weeks, and now we're here. Okay, so hopefully my internet is good. I don't know what is going on. Maybe we were doing so good for so many weeks, and now we're having a day. All right, so we are going to hop through these. We are going to hop through these. I dropped out. Oh, yeah, it's got to be a weather thing today. Uh-oh, frozen calamari. See, and the thing is what's funny is I don't like calamari. I don't. Yeah, it's got to be a weather thing. Let this. Well, that seemed to help. And honestly, it could be that, to be perfectly honest with you, it could be that, I think something do you ever get where this is the one time I didn't open StreamYard in a, uh is there a surprise tornado? Alien invasion. No, it's only like 75 degrees here, but it is humid as all get out. Dial up maybe. Yeah. Um, this is the first time that I'm not opening up StreamYard in a incognito window, and I think that's part of the issue. I think there's an issue between StreamYard and YouTube. Um, I think there's an issue between all streaming services and YouTube because I've noticed this with a lot of people, especially with like audio stuff. But I'm gonna close a bunch of other stuff. So what we are doing today is this is the docket. Well, this is all the court documents that are public that are not paid for. Like I don't have to pay for any of these. Yeah, Restream's been a pain. I've also seen Streamlabs be a pain in the butt to people. So I don't know. I think it's something. I think there's an issue. I think there's an issue between. I don't think it's any one service. I think it's the connection between the services and YouTube. In addition to the fact that I think the weather is acting stupid, and it is Monday. It is Monday. My computer does updates on Sundays, and sometimes I forget to relaunch. Like right now, my Chrome says relaunch to update in the corner. So I'm pretty sure that's, yeah, there's a lot of issues with streaming platforms and asshat YouTube. Yeah. I did get Streamlabs, but Streamlabs was becoming a problem. Streamlabs was becoming a problem with it was over my head. Like just certain things on it I could not figure out. It was more for somebody smarter than me, someone like it or StreamYard is very basic. However, it's improving. They did upgrade some things between the time that I switched back. And it's just easier for me to figure out as a boomer. And I paid for the entire year, so it's not as expensive. So, you know, blame Jeremy. Yeah, blame Jeremy. We'll go with that. So I switched back, but it is what it is. And I will do this to make these a little bit bigger. These are all the court documents that the DOJ has public. And I know I have to switch. See, I took notes. Remember how I took all these notes when we were going through these all these cases before, and I just have to find out where. There we go. Because I took notable ones, and I was going to record videos and edit them, and then 3D life got psycho. So it's been kind of a difficult ride. So I figured let's just do this crazy. For those of you who didn't watch my stream yesterday, I lost an important piece of jewelry. A very, very, very important piece of jewelry. Very, very important piece of jewelry that you can see I'm not wearing. However, I will be right back because I have to show you. I have to show you what I found when I was looking for that in other piece of jewelry. I will be right back. Okay. So I found this. And sorry about my crappy nails. So I found this. It was on my kitchen sink because I cleaned it this morning. So I found um I did stream yesterday, Jeffrey. I found this necklace. I have been looking for this necklace since the day baby squid was born. I wore this necklace every day from the time I got out of surgery to the time I went into the operating room when baby squid was born. I had to take it off when I went into the operating room, and I had to take it off when I went into the operating room. Mr. Squid put it in his bag or put it in a bag, and I never saw it again. We looked for it, and we looked for it, and we looked for it, and we could not find it. I'm looking for a certain piece of jewelry that went missing out of the drawer that it is kept in. We think the little mini me took it and hid it somewhere. It's been missing for 3 years. As I was looking for this piece of jewelry yesterday, I found this in a place that we had looked multiple times. So this piece of jewelry made it through 3 different houses. The house we lived in when she was born, the house we moved to, and then the house we bought. And we could not find it. And I found it when looking for something else. I still can't find the other thing that I'm looking for. That went missing out of the drawer. However, I found my cross that I have not seen in 3 years and 1 week. Yes, so it's been missing for 3 years, 1 week. Figure that one out. I have packed and moved 3 times. Yes. Yes. Yeah, isn't it? So, yeah, but I still can't find what I'm looking for. Yeah. I did talk to Musi, and she thinks either my grandfather took it or the little took it. And one of the things that makes me think my grandfather took it is the fact that I found this while looking for that. So, you know. Anyway, now that we're 20 minutes in and we've got the soapbox and the obligatory BS out of the way, I did take notes on some of the cases that I thought were most important and or worth following. And these are the cases that the documents that the DOJ put on their website for free without having to go through Pacer. So, so we will get into some of them because they are fascinating. And if you did not see my previous streams on medical fraud, we went through some of the press release and the case summaries, where we found out that not only does fraud exist, it is rampant, and it is $14.6 billion worth in this crackdown. So we will see where these cases actually go. I'm obviously not going to follow every case because there is just too many of them. However, there is a lot. Some are doctors, a lot are pharmacists, but a lot are Medicaid. A lot of the state cases are Medicaid. So we will get into the state cases in a different stream. This one, I just wanted to do the federal cases because if we find any of these federal cases egregious enough or interesting enough to follow, I will mark them as things I want to keep an eye on. What do you think of United Health issues with their fraud? I think I think everybody's got fraud. I have a problem with health insurance as a whole when you have people who are not doctors um, making decisions on people's health care, but that's just me. You know. And Jeremy just posted a short referencing Scott Stark. Yeah, I did my um the first 10 minutes of my stream were my soapbox on what I think of the situation. And I say as a former healthcare professional, because honestly, let's put it this way, I have a degree in occupational therapy. I will probably never officially use that degree ever again. I will probably use the knowledge because I would like to train people one day using my corrective exercise certification and the knowledge I have from occupational therapy to get people out of the healthcare system. Because once you go back, you're a frequent flyer. Then, yeah, you're a frequent flyer until you die. It's just, yeah, not surprised with Medicaid and Medicare fraud, unfortunately. Yeah, and it was kind of one of those things where when people said, well, Medicaid fraud doesn't exist, when the whole big beautiful bill, and whatever you think of that bill, it's not a political stream, but when people said Medicaid fraud doesn't exist, and we just proved that it did. And it's like you can't have it both. Like you can't have it both ways. It's like it's another one of like what I said at the beginning when you said when you say, oh, someone's just faking it, and then you can't all of a sudden be like, well, it's this person's fault. If he would have never done this, or if this person would have never got involved, he would still be, you can't say that one person's faking and then when they die, all of a sudden jump on your high horse like you've got like you're holier than thou and blame other people and not realize that you for so long said that they were faking it and or using it to delay. And then yeah, he used it to delay so much that he died. Yeah, he faked it so much that he died. Like rest in peace, Scott Stark. Whether I liked him or not personality wise, like he did not deserve what people said about his health. So yeah, Medicaid fraud is rampant. Yes. Yeah. You'll find a lot of fraud when it concerns the government. You really don't think the military pays $20 for little things. It's like, and I can't find the clip, but it's a clip from Independence Day where when the president is walking through Area 51 or whatever, and the crazy dad, Jeff Goldblum's dad, is like, you really don't think they pay $700 for a toilet seat, do you? You know. Hey, Robert James, how are you? So it's just one of those, but it's the people that I don't understand are the people who are the people finding fraud than the people committing the fraud. And that's what I can't like. This is what like makes me, huh? Oh yeah, Medicare. It's all the same. Medicaid and Medicare. Medicaid is just state level. Medicare is federal. Because when you have CMS, which is the like Overwatch. It's the paid services. It's all the same. Like, $700 for a clock. So $30,000 for a hammer, $20,000 for a toilet seat. That movie's a classic. Yeah, but that for a while that there's that clip was going around TikTok, and Mr. Squid sent it to me, and I freaking didn't save it. So you just summoned the devil. Oh no. Oh no. What did I do? What did I do? I just had to return a text real quick. So, oh no. Can anyone bring me up to speed about the person that died? TLDR, the big case that I'm following, the drama one. There are no new documents in any of the cases, by the way. I checked this morning. This is why we're talking about this today. He was the lawyer, the Florida lawyer for the Florida cases for Lynette Preston, the person that we think is on the wrong side of the facts. Like her, hate her, she's on the wrong side of the facts, in my opinion. But he was her lawyer for the frivolous state cases. And there was a bunch of people, and I criticized both sides. So it was one of the reasons that I don't get as much love as other people on both sides, is because I criticize everybody. Because Jeannie, you know me, I don't play well with others. and Jeannie can tell you, when I say I don't play well with others, I'm not kidding. Like, Jeannie has known me since 2014. Jeannie has known me since 2014. I I don't play well with others. But a lot of people basically, he had CHF, and he passed away on Sunday. And a lot of people, according to his wife, he passed away on Sunday. But a lot of people on the side, on the right side of the facts of the case, basically accused him of a lot of supporters of that person. I don't know if that person specifically did. I barely have enough time to keep up with what I want to watch. And now that it's football season again, either way, a lot of the supporters thought and had stated that he was faking it and or using it to delay, that he was exaggerating every which way and sideways. And he died. So, you know me, I have the problem of I don't talk about other people's health. And now, hi, baby, what's up? You want a snack? What do you want, baby? You want candy? Yes. Well, we don't have candy, but you can have a yogurt or some chicken. What would you like? You want icy? Yes. Okay, you're getting a bath. So, yes. And can someone put 3 Awesome Dogs chat or a link in the chat? I have to get the little one a snack because she wants something out of the fridge and she can't get it herself. So I will have to go get it for her. But we are going to get into these documents, or at least some of them, as I get back. So grab a drink. And I have a new song that I made. I just have to get a new video or some sort of video to go with it. But here's our intermission.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals that take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just 2 hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop, every shot from the top. We're gonna be 2 hearts running wild. The morning is the afternoon. We lay awake in bed. The glass so loud as the hours pass. We're gonna do it all again. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just 2 hearts running.
Thanks for your patience. She wanted a popsicle. So it's about to be bath night. Hey, Zach, hit a 1 rep max of 105 pounds for clean and jerk. Not great, but yeah, you know. So, oh, tell her I said congratulations. All right. We are going to get into this. Let's see. New York. And these are the districts that they are in. So I'm looking at some of the highlights. Because there were some cases that were more, what I felt like more egregious than others. Mommy. Angel. Newark. I did read the Newark Beth Israel settlement agreement. I do have that video recorded. I just have to edit it. That one was, in my opinion, pretty bad. And then New Jersey, a district of Southern District of Texas. This one, Northern District in New York. U.S. versus Anya Salamak. He is a psychiatric nurse practitioner that was accused of distribution and dispensing Schedule II controlled substances. Angel, what's up, baby? Do you need a rag? Okay. I failed as a mom. I forgot to get her a napkin. Bear with me. Thank you for being patient with the fact that I did a mom fail. I have to go get her a wipe because we messy. And thank you for your patience with me today. The failures end up meeting Lord Chippy. You're not remotely close, different planets. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah. Mom fail. Give her a popsicle and don't give her anything to wipe herself off with. That's a mom fail in itself. All right, and good afternoon, stats. How are you? Happy Monday. It's the Mondayest of all Mondays. Alrighty. This is the settlement agreement. It is 9 pages. We are going to read the highlights. All right. So collectively referred to as the parties. Anya Salamak is an individual who is a New York licensed nurse practitioner until 2020. She maintained a medical office in Albany, New York, now resides in Florida. Not everybody that relocated to Florida in 2020 is a good person. Whatever you did seemed to fix the stream. I didn't do anything, so I'm wondering if it was just interference. Just get on with it. I know. There's going to be haters. There's going to be haters in the chat that are going to be like, what are you doing? Like, and hey, Snipe Hunter, how are you? All right. The claims, false claims involving Medicare. Salamac participated and submitted or caused to submit claims for payment to Medicare program. She submitted or caused to be submitted claims to Medicare for evaluation and management services. EM codes are billing codes used to represent healthcare professional services involving the evaluation and management of patient health, including office visits and consultations. In 2020, Salamac vacated her medical office and relocated to Florida and continued to bill Medicare for patients who were primarily based in upstate New York, including within Northern District of New York, although she did not physically meet with these patients or regularly use a 21-day interactive telecommunication system with audio and video components. Between those dates, she submitted 528 claims using CPT code 90838 to Medicare, and I don't bill Medicare, so I only know the codes that I used, and that wasn't it. These codes falsely represented that Salamac had provided face-to-face psychotherapy sessions lasting 53 minutes or more. When you bill Medicare, or when you bill at all, you have to meet at least 8 minutes to bill one unit. It was 8 to 15, 15 to 22, 23 to 38, 39 to 52, and 53 to 68 was 4 units. So she's billing at least 4 units. And she's billing 4 units, which is quite a chunk of change. I had to bill a certain number of units per day to be productive. Pursuant to Coronavirus Relief and Economic Security Act, CARES Act, Congress allocated approximately $178 billion in provider relief funds to healthcare providers. The PRF was overseen by the Health Resources and Service Administration, a division of HHS. And this is where shit starts to go hinky, because these funds right here were, that CPT code is psychotherapy. Yeah, I would assume so with face-to-face psychotherapy. I could infer. But I never did psychotherapy. I did, cognitive, Theract, stuff like that. So these funds were considered grants that did not need to be repaid so long as the funds were used to prevent, prepare for, or respond to the coronavirus, or for healthcare-related expenses or lost revenues attributable to the coronavirus pandemic. And to my YouTube overlords, I am using the word coronavirus because it is literally in the document I am reading. So, sorry, I forgot to share this tab. So, it is literally in the code, or yeah, a lot of it is going to be kind of listen and use your context to put things together. In 2020, Salamac received $87,800.11 in PRF. On or about March 29th of 2022, Salamac certified to HRSA through an electronic portal that she had used the PRF for permissible purposes, including general administrative expenses and healthcare-related expenses. Hey, Paul. Salamac certification was false. In fact, Salamac used $48,670 of the PRF for impermissible purposes, including expenses incurred pre-pandemic and rental payments for medical offices in Albany, New York, that she had vacated and was no longer using. Salamac admits, acknowledges, and accepts responsibility for the facts set forth in paragraphs A through F, which shall be referred to as the covered conduct, and further acknowledges that covered conduct violates the False Claims Act. All right. So here's the terms and conditions. In no later than 30 days from the effective date of this agreement, she agrees to pay the U.S. $188,850 settlement amount, which is $79,173 is restitution. The payment shall be made by electronic funds transfer. Subject to the exceptions in paragraph 3 concerning reserved claims below, And upon the receipt of the settlement amount, the United States releases Salamac from any civil or administrative monetary claims the U.S. has for the covered conduct under the False Claims Act. This is just, see, and I'm, in a way, I can see why they're settling with some of these people. But at the same time, I'm like, sometimes I wish these people would actually pay what they owe. Like, notwithstanding the release given in paragraph 2 or any other term of this agreement, the following claims and rights of the U.S. are specifically reserved and not released. Any liability arising under Title 26 U.S. Code, the IRS, any criminal liability, any administrative liability or enforcement right, including mandatory or permissive exclusion from federal healthcare programs, any liability to the U.S. or its agencies for any conduct other than the covered conduct, any liability based on the obligations created by this agreement. Salamac waives and shall not assert any defenses Salamac may have to criminal prosecution or administrative action related to the covered conduct that may be based in whole or in part on the contention that under double jeopardy clause in the Fifth Amendment or under the excessive fines clause in the Eighth Amendment. This agreement bars a remedy sought in such criminal prosecution or administrative action. I mean, I really hope she eventually is criminally prosecuted because, like, she's a psychiatric nurse that she's accused of distributing and dispensing Schedule II controlled substances. This does not cover that so far. Yeah, no insurance carrier pays full price. All payments are based on contracted rates. And you know who pays the least? The VA. Maybe a little jail time. Yeah, I wish. Hey, Joe. Yeah, if she's guilty. If she's guilty. But the fact that she already is admitting to billing fraud, it's not a far stretch. Salamac fully and finally releases the United States, its agencies, officers, and blah, from any claims, including attorney's fees, costs, and expenses of every kind, and however denominated, that Salamac has asserted, could have asserted, or may assert in the future against the U.S. and its agencies related to the covered conduct and the U.S.'s investigation and prosecution thereof. The settlement amount shall not be decreased as a result of the denial of claims for payment now being withheld from payment by any Medicare contractor or any state payer related to the covered conduct, and Salamac agrees not to resubmit any Medicare contractor or any state payer any previously denied claims related to the covered conduct, and agrees not to appeal any such denials of claims, and agrees to withdraw any such pending appeals. It's one of those situations of what else do they have, though? Because she was quick to settle, and if you didn't do anything wrong, settling is don't settle. But she settled. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just curious as to where this yeah, I mean, we're just getting started on the topic. Squid's soapbox advantage. Yeah, I climbed up on my since we were talking about healthcare and the unfortunate passing of Scott Stark, whether you liked him or hated him, like, and somebody passing away earlier than expected is never a good thing. Hi, you want water? You want water? Where is? I took your hair bow out. It hurts? It did not hurt. Mommy just took your hairband out. That's all. Okay. Is that better? Oh, you want another drink? Here you go. Oh, put it back here. Okay, we're picky. We want it up here. Okay. You want to come up on my lap? Oh my goodness. You want to say hi? Okay. Hey, Jude, member for 10 months. Thank you so much. Hi, Squid Coco in chat. How are you today? Oh. All right. Salamac agrees to the following. Unallowable cost defined. So basically, all cost is defined in the federal regulations and the regulations and official program directives promulgated thereunder. I can never say that word. Incurred by or on behalf of Salamac, her employees or agents in connection with the matters covered by this agreement and plea agreement for related conduct. The United States audit and criminal investigations of the matters covered by this agreement. Salamac's investigation, defense, corrective actions undertaken in response to the U.S.'s audits and civil and criminal investigations. The negotiation and performance of this agreement and the plea agreement. The repayment Salamac makes to the U.S. in pursuant to this agreement. Oh, Grandpa's in the chat. Grandpa says hi. Hi. All right. The payment Salamac makes to the U.S. pursuant to this agreement are unallowable costs for government contracting purposes under the Medicare program, Medicaid program, TRICARE, and federal employees health benefits program. Future treatment of you're going to hurt yourself. That's sharp. We're going to put that back. No. She has my oh baby. Just going through my drawers, which is why I'm pretty sure my stuff disappeared. Nana's in the chat too. Girl, you just like to hit buttons. All right. Future treatment of unallowable costs. Treatment of unallowable costs previously submitted for payment. Mama. Angel. Huh? Hey, Dan. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I'm amazed that I did not have another heat attack and pass away with all the stress not having power for so long. I don't know how you did that. I don't know. I think it was, if I'm remembering correctly, 305 days. How did you, I don't know. I would say you killed it, but heart attack. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Mama. That makes more sense. Mama. I don't know, but heat attack would work too. Oh, yeah. And I agree with Heidi here. 309 days. I'm glad you're still with us. Die. No. Die. Did your pad die? Oh. All right. No, and then I'm kind of skipping some of it because a lot of it is over our heads. What we need to know. We just need to know that she admitted fault. And that just because you admit fault in this doesn't mean that you're going to get immunity from other claims. All right. This agreement is intended to be for the benefit of the parties only. The parties do not release any claims against any other person or entity except to the extent provided for in paragraph 9, waiver of beneficiaries, paragraph below. Yeah, Squid is our fast forward. Yeah, it's kind of one of those, like, it is up if you want to read it. And I will post it. I'll make a section of the Discord for medical fraud documents. You notice she only talks when I do. The minute I stop talking, so does she. Salamak agrees that she waives and shall not seek payment for any of the health care billings covered by this agreement from any health care beneficiaries or their parents, sponsors, legal responsible individuals, or third-party payers. Yeah. She's having a good old conversation with herself. Hey, boo. Hold, please. Oh my goodness. She is screaming today. Oh, that was my ear she was yelling in. I'm sorry, y'all. Oh, soon she will be reading it to y'all. I don't know. Oh. Each party shall bear their own legal costs. Each party has a signatory to this agreement and represents they freely and voluntarily entered into this agreement. Nobody was forced. Yeah, Squidlet, pecuniary advantage. Pecuniary advantage. Ah. Yes, the angel that brought the cross necklace back. Well, if she can just find my ring. Because I can't find that now. It is usually kept in a drawer. And the drawer that it's usually kept in, it is not there. And I have no idea where it is. I've looked everywhere. This agreement is governed by the laws of the U.S. The exclusive venue for any dispute relating to this agreement is the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of New York. For purposes construing this agreement shall be deemed to have been drafted by all parties to this agreement and shall not, therefore, be construed against any party for that reason in any subsequent dispute. All right. All parties consent to the U.S. disclosure of this agreement and information about this agreement to the public. Hey, I'm public. Check the RoboVac. I'm going to have to. Baby Squid is great at relieving your stress. Yeah, well, she's great at causing. You have clips in your hair, but they're not. You want me to put them in there, right? Here. Well, can I put them in there, right? Yes. Okay, hold on. There you go. Hello. Okay. I'm gonna have to. We haven't ran it in the past few days, but I don't know. What? You want this one too? Yes. You want both? Okay. There you go. You're welcome. Isasa is toddler for thank you. She's the best background music when she's like this. Y'all, she cracks me up. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, yeah. But sometimes she doesn't want anything to do with me until the minute I start streaming. And then it's like, hey, I'm here. Pay attention to me. I'm here. Pay attention to me. Y'all, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. Yeah, right. My some of my stuff, like my nail polishes and nail files and stuff, end up all over the house. And then sometimes he's starting not to figure it out now that it's not me. He'll like collect them and think that I was leaving my stuff all over the house. It's like, no. That's her. Like, I don't check diapers. Yeah, I'm really hoping to. When we're done, yes, she's not going to right now. She's too hyper focused on being the center of attention. Yeah. No, he's never been so happy to go back to work. He is not the type to take vacation and take time off. So him taking time off was like he was bored, and by yesterday you could tell he was bored and miserable. Like he just needed to go back to work. No, she's a daddy's girl because for the last week it's been daddy, 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 and it's been great. It's hilarious to me. This agreement is effective on the date of signature of the last signatory to the agreement. Facsimiles and electronic transmissions of signatures shall constitute acceptable binding signatures for the purpose of this agreement. So I'm not going to show everybody's signature, but basically it was 6/24. So yeah, basically a couple months ago. So how do you say that? She steals the show when she's awake. Yeah. She's currently putting little tabs that say smoke and mirrors on my leg right now. All right, so there is that one. Then we have, let's see, Southern District of Texas. There was a couple that I wrote down that I thought were quite interesting as far as like the case descriptions. Southern District of Texas, Alvin Elliott, distributing controlled substances. This is the criminal one, and it's an indictment. So we have a federal indictment. Alvin Elliott is the defendant. And supposedly this is under seal, but not now. Controlled Substances Act, governed by the manufacture, distribution, and dispensing of controlled substances in the U.S. With limited exceptions for medical professionals, the CSA made it unlawful for any person to knowingly or intentionally manufacture, distribute, or dispense controlled substances or conspire to do so. Conspire is the big one there, because a lot of people that are charged with this, that I've seen charged with this, aren't always the one doing the dispensing. It's the conspiracy. CSA and its implementing regulations set forth with drugs and other controlled substances were defined by law as controlled substances and assigned those controlled substances to one of 5 schedules, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, depending on their potential for abuse, likelihood of physical or psychological dependency, accepted medical use, and accepted safety for use under medical supervision. I heard something, but I didn't look into it too much. But he's at work, baby.
Daddy.
He's at work.
Daddy.
He's at work. He's at work. She's gonna do this. Go see if he's home.
Okay.
But I gotta take this because you can't run with that. All right. Once again, this one I'm going to kind of not skip around, but if it's something that we don't really care about, I'm going to try. I'm trying to do that so we get through some documents quicker. I'm learning. All right. Controlled substances, Schedule 2 meant that the drug had a high potential for abuse and is currently accepted medical use and treatment, or the drug had currently accepted medical use with severe restrictions. Oxycodone was classified as Schedule 2 controlled substance, used to treat severe pain and with other opioids, was highly addictive. 30 milligram oxycodone 30 milligram tablets were sometimes marketed under the brand name Roxycodone, yielding the street name Roxy or Roxy's. The 30 milligram pill was the highest short-acting pill form of the drug commercially available. And it had substantial street value and was high in demand on Houston's black market. Hydrocodone was classified as Schedule II. Hydrocodone was used to treat severe pain, and with other opioids is highly addictive. Tablets combining 10 milligrams of hydrocodone, bitartrate, and 325 milligrams of acetaminophen. Acetaminophen is Tylenol. Were sometimes marketed under the brand Norco. A hydrocodone pill was the highest short-acting combination pill for the drug commercially available. And here is your government-level lawyer version of a pharmacology class. And it had substantial street value and was high demand on Houston's black market. Carisoprodol was classified as a Schedule IV controlled substance, sometimes prescribed addictive. And some of these are highly, I can understand being prescribed some of these things after surgery and for other reasons. I can understand why they are highly addictive because they don't make you feel shit and you feel great. The problem is you feel nothing at all. And that's not always a good thing. And the FDA recommends this for acute treatment of 2 to 3 weeks at a time. Potentiators, so-called because they enhance the high from opioids like hydrocodone and oxycodone, included carisoprodol, a Schedule IV, alprazolam, a Schedule IV controlled substance used to treat anxiety, and promethazine, with codeine, a Schedule V controlled substance classified as a cough suppressant. All had substantial street value and are in high demand. With exceptions not applicable here, only appropriate licensed and registered pharmacies could dispense controlled substances and only pursuant to legitimate prescriptions written by an appropriately licensed and registered medical practitioner acting in the usual course of their professional practice. Seems to make sense. Now it's fentanyl. Everything is fentanyl. Yeah. Hey, AT1, how are you? Well, fentanyl is added to stuff, but this is in 2025. This is 2025's Crackdown. So this is all right. Defendant Alvin Elliott worked as a firefighter at Houston's department between 2001 and 2024. Alvin Elliott owned and operated Better Life Pharmacy, LLC. He owned and operated other pharmacies, including Community Pharmacy and Brookshire Discount Pharmacy. Individual 1 purchased controlled substance and non-controlled substances with substantial street value from him and arranged for them to be picked up by black market buyers, couriers, and others. Woo! Ugh. Good luck. You will, but you'll only get like a few days worth for reasons such as addiction. Counts 1 through 4. Beginning in or around October of 2023. Hold on one second. She turned her bubble machine on, and it was on and on and on, and she goes through bubbles way too fast if we do that. So I had to tell her to turn it off. Beginning on or around October 2023 and continuing through at least January 2024, the exact dates being unknown to the grand jury in the Houston Division of the Southern District of Texas, defendant Alvin Elliott, aided and abetted by others, did knowingly and intentionally distribute individual 1 the controlled substances alleged below, knowing that such distribution was not authorized by law. Holy pain patients had to stop their anxiety meds or their pain meds. They can't have both anymore. Yeah. Yeah. Um, look at this. 1,000 tablets, $2,500 on October 18th. Another 1,043 tablets. 211 tablets of oxycodone, and 812 tablets of hydrocodone. With this cash exchange of $11,500. Each in violation of Title 21 U.S. Code Section 841 A1B2 as to counts 1 and 2, and B1C as to counts 3 and 4. In Title 18 U.S. Code Section 2, criminal forfeiture. The allegations contained in counts 1 through 4 of this indictment are realleged and incorporated by reference as fully set forth herein. Upon conviction of any violation of Title 21 U.S. Code 841, the defendant shall forfeit the U.S. all property, real or personal, that constitutes or is derived directly or indirectly from gross proceeds traceable to the commission of the offenses of conviction pursuant to Title 21 U.S. Code 853. If any of the forfeitable property or any portion thereof as a result of any act or omission of the defendant cannot be located upon the exercise of due diligence, has been transferred or sold to or deposited with a third party, has been placed beyond the jurisdiction of the court, has been substantially diminished in value, or has been commingled with other property which cannot be subdivided without difficulty, the United States shall be entitled to forfeiture of substitute property. Ooh. And then this is 4-person, and I'm glad they put it. They did not put this 4-person signature, but that is from the grand jury in the Southern District of Texas, Houston. I mean, that seems like a good one to follow. I think I want to follow some of the criminal ones because criminal is always more interesting than civil, because you want to see people pay for their screw ups. And how many? Yeah, 1K tabs in 2.5 months equals 12.9 tabs a day. Yeah, and also, like, who were these given to, in the sense of, like, what were they laced, like, when they were given to the people, what happened to the people who took them? Is it going to come out that these were given to people and people passed away? Like, these are people who I want to follow, because we always are on the dealers and for causing people's death, and I don't disagree with that, but this goes higher than just a street level dealer, because a street level dealer has to get their product from somewhere. And not everything. Yes, the drugs coming over the southern border are a big deal. However, our pharmacies are a big deal too. Our pharmacists, which is one of the big reasons that when you go through schools and they require background checks, and people are like, why do you need a background check to get into this program? This is why. This Exhibit A for background check for college, for School of Pharmacy. If you're going to be working with patients, working with controlled substances, working with anything that could put you in the way, allowing you to easily harm somebody else, you're going to get a background check. Like, a monitoring plan must be in place for the mixture of pain meds and psych meds. Yeah. And there is no easy answers, because every patient's different. And Jeannie knows this. When I went back to college, I went to speech class in my speech class, I did the opioid crisis as my topic for the semester. And it's one of those situations of where did it originate and who's being punished now. And chronic pain patients right now are being punished for doctors being reimbursed by CMS. When CMS reimbursed doctors for patient satisfaction versus patient outcomes, there was a problem, because any patient who's not in pain is going to be happy. A patient who's not in pain but healthy, or who is in pain but overall healthy, is not going to be happy. So there's a whole bunch of things that went into it. Once again, it's not an easy answer, and it's a very difficult process and very nuanced. But now chronic pain patients are being punished because you have doctors being so afraid of getting patients addicted. It's just there's no middle ground. And how do you easily tell because doctors don't spend much time with their patients. Nurses do, doctors don't. How do you tell quickly who is the drug-seeking patient and who is the patient who has chronic pain? And doctors don't take chronic pain patients seriously. Ask me how I know. It's not so bad now, but since I've been this way for a long time, and I'm older now, but when I was younger, yeah, Tylenol doesn't work for nerve pain. That type of pain has targeted specific classes of medication. Yeah, that's more of and nerve pain sucks. Nerve pain sucks because it's not it's not that it's not a real pain. It's just that there's nothing wrong with you except for your body fighting itself. It's not like when I have shoulder pain, like my shoulder, there's nothing actually structurally wrong with my shoulder. My shoulder just freaks itself out and like tells my brain that there's something wrong, even though structurally MRIs, x-rays, there is nothing wrong with my shoulder musculoskeletal wise. But my shoulder keeps telling my brain that I have pain. The pain's not real. But that pain has been around so long. There are studies that actually, and when I was still working and we had Jeannie, when I was on IRP and we had monthly meetings, one of our monthly meetings on IRP was chronic pain. And we had, we looked at the research about how chronic pain actually changes the structures of your brain. And I'm to the point now where like this pain, it's like, it's not real, but it's real. It's just it's, I hate to say it's not real because it is. Your brain perceives it as real, even though there's no actual problem musculoskeletal wise with your arm or your leg. Your brain thinks that there's this huge problem and sends all these signals to your brain like, oh my God, pain. And it's like, there's not actually anything wrong. Yeah, it's hard describing pain to people, especially with autoimmunity. Thankful my RA is getting better with treatment, but there are still days. Yeah, and that's the other thing with chronic pain and nerve pain is one day it's there, one day it's not. One day you wake up and you're like, holy shit, I'm feeling great today. And the next day you're like, what the hell happened? I was fine yesterday. And today I'm like, ow, everything hurt. There is no middle ground. But it's like, yeah. So I have to like put some input into my arm sometimes and like trick my brain, give it some neural input and be like, see, nothing wrong. Here, nothing wrong. Like, Yeah, your brain has been programmed that you have a limitation. The hard thing is to have it reprogram. Yeah. And this is one of the reasons that I like talking about stuff like this. And I love having the audience, and I love my chronic pain people. I know it sucks. Chronic pain people, I hate that y'all suffer from chronic pain, but I'm thankful that we all have a place to commiserate together. And yeah, but soft tissue can be the culprit. It's like oh yeah, I have those too. I'm the type of person where I'll be writing and all of a sudden I'll throw my pen. Make that one make sense. Yeah, and Snipe Hunter, once again with your comment, something else that it's really, if you don't know, you don't know. It's almost like, and you're gonna laugh at me but Jeannie can tell you, I always try to describe things to my patients in things that made sense to them. Simplified terms. I don't want to dumb it down for people, but like if I could get someone to understand it in things that they were familiar with, then describing things was way easier and talking to people was way easier. It's almost like being pregnant. You think you know what it's like to be pregnant, and you read all the books and you think, oh yeah, this is gonna hurt, like I'm gonna get some swelling here, or I'm gonna feel sick in the morning, but you don't actually know what it's like to be pregnant until you're pregnant. And then it's like, oh shit, one day I'm fine, one day I'm not. One day I'm great and strong and healthy and feel great, and the next day I want to cry at spilled milk. Like you don't actually it's one of those things of like you don't know until you know, and then it's like, oh, okay, that makes total sense now. Yeah, Freckled Ginger. I write CMS appeals. Yeah, Freckled Ginger is the CMS expert in this. Like the thing about being on acute care is we wrote notes, but technically therapy was included in your stay. Inpatient rehab, we had to write notes a little bit. We had to get approval, so it was a little bit different of a thing. But another one, Southern District of Texas has a lot of and look at these are all the Southern District of Texas from here to here. This whole page right now is Southern District of Texas. You mean carrying around a 10-pound bowling ball attached to your ribs doesn't give you the same feeling? They lied about that. Love the old ways. I mean, it gives you one aspect of it, but like it doesn't give you the aspect of what it's like for a person to kick you from the inside out and, all of a sudden shift and sit on your bladder. And it's like you go from being fine to, oh my God, I have to pee. Are you carrying around my purse? Oh. All right. Nathaniel Mitchell. Hey, Duncan, Idaho. My fiance and I recently found out she was pregnant. 4 positive tests over a few days. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you guys. Congratulations. Go get it. Where is it? Oh, yeah. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Hey, Kasha. I have chronic fatigue syndrome, and people are like, you're just tired. Get more sleep. I'm like, it's more than that. I have CHF and gastroparesis. I have gastric bypass, and now I have vitamin deficiency. So, and nutritional issues. Yes, it's just more than being tired. Yeah, and a lot of the times that people don't realize too is it's not like you have one thing. Like, yeah, I had a Chiari, but the Chiari led to swallowing issues. I never thought an issue. I had swallowing issues. I had headaches. I had, obviously now I have cysts in my spinal cord. Like, it's not just one. It's not just one thing. comorbidities. None of these are just one thing at a time. And that's the hard thing for people to grasp is like, yeah, I'm tired, but it's like, it's more than tired. Like my leg hurts. Yeah, but it's more than that. Like, it's not just a one thing. Hey, Sandra. I'm a chronic pain patient. I have been with the same pain management doctor over 10 years. I had the doctor explain the difference between addiction and physical dependency. Nice. I mean, you've obviously been with him for 10 years, so you seem to be getting what you need. And it's nice to have someone that you trust too, and that trusts you, because it's not only you trusting the doctor, but the doctor trusting you, that when you tell them something, they believe you. Because half the time with these doctors is like, you tell them something and they're like, well, did you look that up on Google? No, it's called I've been living with this body for 40 years. Like, I just know. Like, it's like you're describing my symptoms. Well, I'm happy for that, and I'm sorry at the same time.
Hi, beautiful. Yeah, you're going to need a bath, huh?
Yeah. We'll do one more, and then I think we're going to call it a day. My husband had a TBI and chronic pain, so people don't realize how hard it is, and the VA medical system is broken. Yes, but people want the government to run healthcare. Like, I don't want to make this political because, yes, this is the federal government doing these lawsuits, but at the same time, I don't want to make this uber political, but people that tell me that they want government-run healthcare, I'm like, can we fix the VA first? Because government healthcare, and I've used the VA my entire, well,
Hi.
I had military healthcare from age 18 to 22, 23, right before my 23rd birthday. And then from then on, I've used the VA. It is broken. The VA is great when it's not something you rely on. And I'm 90% service connected. So I'm a little bit higher of a priority than, say, somebody 20, 30, 40, 50%. I have different, yes, I've had my issues, but like, I don't have as big of issues as someone who, say, is 30% and needs to get treatment. You're put on a lower priority, which is in some ways is like necessary, but in other ways is like, they get shittier treatment because they're a lower tier priority. Your biggest fear is your doctor retiring. I can see that. So, I don't know how old you are, and I don't know how old he is. However, this is just, I'm not a doctor. I'm not your doctor. This is just advice from a friend and somebody who's been through kind of a situation like that, is I would start talking to that person about who they trust. Because if you get, hey, you're getting to that age where you might retire, who's taking over? Because there's a couple times that I've done that with providers, and there's been a couple times where all of a sudden I was hit with this person retired, and now you're going to this person, and it's like, I don't know you, I didn't talk to anybody about you, and now I'm stuck with you. So I would start to, oh yeah, and definitely, I know I say it all the time. If you think the federal government can run it better, go to the VA and tell me, yes, Rob's 100% and it's horrible. Yeah, I was 80%. I had brain surgery, and then they gave me 90%. Make that one make sense. All right, we are going to, this is the other one I wrote down, and I don't know why. Nathaniel Mitchell. This is another, this is another controlled substances. We're gonna, and I will be saving all these documents because this is it's, yeah. So this is Nathaniel Mitchell, aka Lene Mitchell, aka Big Homie. Some of the people, when you choose an alias, like, general, and this is a grand jury indictment. We are going to skip over this because this is the same thing we read in the other one, Controlled Substances Act. Oxycodone, hydrocodone, potenators, same as carisoprodol. With exceptions not applicable here, only licensed and registered pharmacies can dispense controlled substances. Same thing we read. Rule 291.29 of the Texas Administrative Code required that pharmacists shall make every reasonable effort to prevent inappropriate dispensing due to fraudulent, forged, invalid, or medically inappropriate prescriptions in violation of a pharmacist's corresponding responsibility. So when your doctor writes you a prescription, your pharmacist is supposed to look at it and be like, hey, this person's already on other medications that are going to interfere with this. You're taking, this is too high of a dose for this person's height and weight, or this is not the appropriate dose to start them out at. That is all conversations that we'll have behind the scenes. So your doctor might write you a prescription for, say, 50 milligrams of trazodone, which I'm sure that's way too high of a dose. However, that might be an appropriate dose for someone maybe taking the medication for 2 months. But you need to start off at like 25 milligrams once a day. You don't need to start off at that. Will be conversations that will happen, but that is part of a pharmacist's responsibility to be like, wait, this doesn't look right. Or if they know this doctor and that signature doesn't look like they're the doctor that they know, calling the doctor and being like, hey, is this actually legit? You know.
Angel, what's up, baby? Oh, yeah, you need a bath. We're going to give you a bath right now.
Yes.
As soon as mommy gets done with this one, you're getting a bath. Yes, bath.
All right, defendants, relevant individuals and entities, Nathaniel Mitchell with all those aliases, and Raquel Mitchell operated RM Pharmacy. And Raquel was the paper owner of RM Pharmacy. Tracy Flanagan was a drug trafficker who illegally obtained controlled substances to sell in the black market. Robin Turner was a pharmacist licensed with the Texas State Board of Pharmacy. And Robin Turner was the pharmacist in charge at RM Pharmacy. Wholesalers, often through independent sales reps, sold RM Pharmacy large quantities of oxycodone and hydrocodone, which were legally dispensed and sold in the black market. The thing about this is, if I'm not mistaken, there's a way to track these drugs. There's a way to track these drugs so that when there's a recall, you can find them. So when people do this and it gets into the wrong hands, like, I don't know, a cop, you can trace these drugs and you can see who they were sold to. That way, if say Pfizer, and I'm not using them as an exact, that's just the first drug company that came to my mind, has a medication A that they made between January and March and it needs to be recalled. They can trace where that drug was sent to, and they can trace so they know what drugs to recall back. The problem with that is the people don't seem to understand that when you do this crap, they can trace where those medications that end up on the street, what pharmacy they went to. I didn't see Jeremy's update, but I saw a whole bunch of people. I saw a whole bunch of people. The first 10 minutes of the stream is me hopping on my soapbox. If you want to rewind and back up. Angel. All right, and I'm going to have to wrap up this one pretty quick. This is purpose of this conspiracy is Nathaniel and Raquel, Tracy Flanagan, and Robin, others, and unknown to the grand jury, unlawfully enriched themselves by, among other things, trafficking in controlled substances. Means and manners. Manner and means of the conspiracy. Sorry, my dyslexia popped up. Mama Shauna, you may or may not agree with me, but there are certain like steadfast beliefs that I hold true that I can't seem. Well, I will never. I will never change my opinion on. And this, what's going on now after Stark passed away is one of them. You know. You actually nailed that dose. I've been on that medication, but it was a long time ago. It was before surgery, so yeah, you want to take a bath? Yeah. Okay, I will give you a bath, but yes, the purpose of these fraud cases can be summed up in one word: greed. Like, yeah, well, yeah, the things that people, yeah. She wants to take a bath, so I'm gonna have to get through this one pretty quick. Raquel Mitchell, in consultation with Robin Turner, placed orders on behalf of RM Pharmacy with wholesalers and their representatives for controlled substances, including oxy and hydrocodone, knowing and intending that these controlled substances would be illegally distributed and dispensed to drug traffickers and ultimately onto the street. And that's what I hate. That's what I hate. Like, we have a big enough problem with street drugs coming over from cartels. Yeah, Stark was a real person, and like him or hate him, like him or hate his personality, I have an issue with the using his death to play politics. And playing the blame game on his death. It's like, no, and I don't care if you're a what the hell supporter or you're an anti what the hell's. The using him as a, see, I told you that BBB is a bad person or this and that, and it's like, just shut up about it. All right. So Robin Turner distributed and dispensed controlled substances, including oxycodone, hydrocodone, and carisoprodol. Robin Turner did so by filling prescriptions for purported patients transported to RM Pharmacy by Tracy Flanagan and other drug traffickers, including certain drug traffickers who were in contact with Nathaniel Mitchell. Nathaniel, Raquel, Tracy, and Robin knew the purported prescriptions for oxycodone, hydrocodone were issued by practitioners outside the usual course of professional practice and without legitimate medical purpose. Tracy and others unknown to the grand jury recruited individuals to pose as purported patients to obtain illegitimate prescriptions for controlled substances. To accomplish this, Tracy and others would transport purported patients to clinics with practitioners who would issue prescriptions for controlled substances without legitimate medical purposes. I mentioned taking a bath, and now she wants to take a bath. That's all she wants to do. So basically, once again, here's the counts for these people. Nathaniel Mitchell liaised with drug traffickers to arrange for them to bring RM Pharmacy. Like, hold on, Angel. All right. So through RM Pharmacy, they distributed and dispensed approximately, look at this, 113,900 pills combined of oxycodone, hydrocodone, and at least 28,300 pills of carisoprodol during the period RM Pharmacy was open. Hi, Jude. You're itchy. You want lotion? Yeah. What do you want? Where do you want it at? Your arm? Yeah. Oh, right there? Okay. Is that okay? No, I'm not putting any there. You can have some right there. Counts 2 through 7, unlawfully distributing and dispensing controlled substances and aiding and abetting. This is a case that I will probably be keeping up on. Here's all the pills. Like, I mean, this is a lot.
Okay, baby. You ready? You want to come up here?
We're gonna go in just a second, okay?
Mommy has to finish what we're doing.
Come here, boo. All right. So this is one that I will be keeping track of too, because it's one thing for people to constantly talk about all the drugs that come over the border and this and that and use that for political points, but we also have to worry about stopping our own people from trafficking shit. Don't say that. But we have to stop our own people from taking stuff and stealing stuff and distributing stuff that they shouldn't be distributing things. So we you want to go get your towel out of the closet? Angel, you want to go get your towel out of the closet? I'll take this. You go get a towel. You know where they are?
Yeah.
Okay, go get a towel. And I'll be there in just a minute, okay? Okay, never mind. Yes, be concerned with the enemy within. So I will be covering more of this, and we will definitely be going over more of these cases because there is hundreds. The next stream I do will be some state documents, and criminal complaints in the state documents, because that's where the Medicaid fraud comes into play. And that's where a lot of people recently, you've heard in the media that Medicaid fraud doesn't exist. Medicaid fraud doesn't exist. We're going to prove, and these states are hoping to prove that, yes, it does. So I am going to go give the little a bath because she is her hands are a little sticky and she wants a bath. And we are going to, hey. We are going to redirect to, I believe Spawn and My Pretty are live. So if you guys follow the Otter Creek Facebook page, Tubetown, she is every Monday she does a stream with Spawn where they talk about everything. But I believe they will be talking about this Scott Stark issue.
No.
Angel, you're okay. And I'm going to, there we go. He comes up on my stuff. He's the first person to come up on my stuff. All right, so go tell him I said hi, and that I will pop on and everybody over there. I will, if she's willing to take a bath. Y'all have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. I'm hoping to hit the gym a little bit earlier tomorrow so that I should stream around noon. We will either be doing the state care of the NTSB hearings on the DC crash. But y'all have a, yes? You want to say goodbye? Say goodbye. Say goodbye. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Bye.